hot air balloons, right, too.
Oh,
But
that's
for
what Karen
14, it
did.
was pretty cool.
Okay, I'm starting.
All right, here we go.
Here we are. Pure joy being in Kenya. Oh my God. I mean, you gotta comment here too. I guess, I'm not gonna worry about the questions and stuff. We can talk some, but we have a lot of slides, so we want to try to get through it. But if anyone has a quick question or comment, please feel free, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, everyone's muted right now, so we really, I
this is
mean,
true.
unless, if it's really urgent, you can raise your hand, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
We can't
well,
see
we
it.
can't see
Oh, and we
anything.
But they
can't see.
You can unmute and say something if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let me see if I
basically,
can get rid of that up there. I'm not sure why
get rid of
we
Oh,
have-
the
have
share
this,
thing?
Yeah, the share thing up here. All right. There we go.
That's better.
Much better.
Okay. So, anyway,
So by way of introduction, we were in Kenya and Tanzania, and a total of 5 different camps we visited, 5 different areas that we took safari rides in, 2 in Kenya and 3 in Tanzania. So, well, and I guess, and they're in order the way we saw them pretty much,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
so, yeah, it was a very extremely joyful experience, really, it was. I mean, just pure joy. Even when your body hurt, it was pure joy.
It was like a total of 2 weeks.
Hey,
including
you made it.
Sure enough.
Hi.
Aw, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Hi,
Hi.
Karen.
How you doing?
Nice hat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I'm late. Excuse me. Hi.
This is my friend Tim from Unity.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
That's all right. We have one Unitech here and one on the screen.
Nice.
Okay, anyway, onward. Whoops. I think, how come it's not working?
Should be okay.
So did it rain at all while you were there?
Very little, very,
Very
very little. Like in one area, like I think it was the Masai Mara where it rained some.
We had like a down,
Late
like,
in the day.
yeah, like a 5 minute, 10 minutes,
Where they
something like
passed
that.
through, yeah,
Passing
we
through,
saw
yeah.
lots of
Awesome.
clouds and stuff. So did Deb figure out how to watch this on Zoom? Is she watching on Zoom?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, I texted her back and suggested that because I
There
did
you
send you guys the link.
She-
Whoa, now it's going on its own without me. Okay. So that shows you, now I see where Mozambique is. Yeah, so that's where we were in Africa, Kenya and Tanzania. And I liked this because we've done a lot of work at Unity on our vision, mission, and core values. And I thought that was kind of a cool sign to see at the airport in Kenya.
Oh, that's where it's from.
Yeah, just in the airport, yeah. So our first day.
We had a full day in Nairobi before we actually went out to the tent camp, and the first place we went was the Sheldrick Elephant Orphanage, that was like a high priority. We actually had adopted an elephant, you know.
So you got to meet your elephant?
We did.
We did, yeah. She's 3 already. The elephants, so the elephants stay as long as 5 years in the orphanage before they're released. And they have these, they kind of trot in and get these huge containers of milk.
So some of them know how to feed themselves.
That
Some need
one's
attention.
got the,
It's like,
Um,
oh my God.
Chug away.
They pile these greens, you can see in the background over there, there's like these greens, piled on the ground near the fence. So eventually the little elephants will go over and try and eat some of the greens. So they're right next to you're right there at the fence, so you can touch
And
them.
that's when I got to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They were
They're
so
all-
full of mud.
They're full of mud and dust. All they do is
They
like,
roll around in the mud and then fling dust over it with their trunks
Right.
to protect from the sun.
I got a question.
Yeah,
How do they get into the orphanage? These are stray elephants, young elephants that are
yes.
go. And how
They were-
do they
yeah.
normally get? How do they normally get to the orphanage?
If they
Oh,
are
these are like-
found, if
They're
they're
found-
young elephants that were found by themselves that would have died, so they were
Right.
brought there.
in Kenya, they
Somehow-
have, they
somehow
have,
maybe the mother or the mother they got lost from the herd.
well,
Or
most-
got killed.
No, got killed.
Or got killed,
They
right.
died
I
or
wanna say
died
that,
from the
Or
drought, yeah.
might get killed for the process.
Yeah, well,
And then the youngs go
they're
to
not
the
supposed
tusk.
to anymore.
No, they have, we were told that they have all pretty much eliminated elephant poaching in Kenya.
Uh-huh.
They have this like professional army of rangers. And really, a little baby elephant cannot get lost without one of the rangers noticing, or if they get stuck in the mud or, anything that happens to them. If they get sick, they need a vet, they'll give them vet care, like even out in the wild. Hey. So as soon as, if they find an orphaned elephant, they call it the orphanage and they're all taken care of. It's pretty great.
It's like Annie.
All right.
Okay. You can describe this scene.
So the Maasai, this was, this is the Maasai warrior in traditional dress, and this guy just like meets the tourists as we go in, to do our
For the photo op,
shopping.
right?
Yeah, the photo op. What they do, and you'll see this later, is what the Maasai men do is they compete to see how high they can jump.
Uh-huh.
They jump straight up and down.
Hmm.
And this guy was amazing. I think, well, you'll see it later when we visit the village. But anyway, so yeah. Welcomed us to spend our money at the craft place. There's also a giraffe center in Nairobi. That was the other thing we did on our day in Nairobi. And it's a similar thing where they have, the giraffes come around. They give you pellet food to actually, you can feed them.
Yeah.
You can feel their tongues, which are they're like velvet. They're really amazing.
Hmm.
More like sandpaper.
No, they're very soft. I thought they were very soft.
I
Anyway,
thought they were rough.
so we learned a little bit about the giraffes.
Okay, anyway. Oh, that's all of that.
So this is,
So we were first in Amboseli, that area, which is just above that line, the line separates.
so this is Kenya here and Tanzania.
Yeah.
And that's Amboseli was the first reserve area we went to, and then Masai Mara is,
This is
Where
when you
is it?
started the safari?
Yeah. That's the first place we went, to Amboseli. And those were the little planes that took us from camp to camp.
Oh, wow, so you flew and
Yeah.
Camp to camp.
yeah, we
little
flew everywhere,
puddle
which was
jumpers.
great because the roads were really, really rough.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How far was from one camp to the next camp if you had to fly?
Not that far, like maybe 30, 40 miles or something.
Okay.
Oh, to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for flying, yeah.
So, but you don't want to drive. If you need to drive between them, you waste like half a day getting there.
Yeah.
I see.
or more. So at our first camp, outside of the camp, there was this water hole with a lookout stand. And this was our first scene when we arrived. We just saw all these different animals kind of hanging out there waiting for water because there was no water at the water hole because it has to be brought in on a big tanker truck, big truck full of water. And they do that once a day. And the animals, it seems, they just wait around there all day until the water comes. I mean, they're thirsty, you know?
Wow.
So this is in the Conservancy area, which is more, well, they can do that there. It's not, I mean, it's still totally in the wild, but it's a section that's more watched over and more
Private.
it's private, yeah. So those animals are lucky they get water. Yeah, the baboons
That's the
were all
lookout
over the
stand, yeah.
lookout stand when we got there, so.
They're sitting on the benches.
So that was supposed to be for the people?
Yeah.
But we had to chase them away,
We got our
because then
turn.
we went up. We went up right after we chased them away, yeah. See, no, well, in that photo, you can see behind Peggy, that's the water hole, but it's dry right now. Because of the drought.
Yeah.
It won't
Everything
fill up by itself, so they bring in tanker truck, they fill it up.
These are not all from there because obviously, well, unless we had gone to a marsh area somewhere. But anyway, I was just about to say how dry it was there, and then these pictures show
Well,
water.
in
But
Amboseli National Park, there's a marshy
there
area.
was a marsh area.
And that's, of
probably-
course, the best place to see the animals, because they're all, they're all attracted to that area, so.
So that must be where these were. Got to see lots and lots of elephants.
Wow, that's amazing.
And first day, we saw this family of lions, just adorable.
Now, are you in a vehicle taking?
Yeah, we're in the vehicle.
Yeah, you'll see a picture of it soon.
Wow.
But these are all my pictures.
So these are out of, like, there weren't windows, like you were in an open area?
We were in an open Jeep, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll show
And how
you.
far away were you from the, was this like a telephoto lens or?
Well,
I do not have- it's my cell
our
phone.
cell phone.
Oh, wow.
These are all cell phone photos.
So clear.
Yeah, we were very close. The lions are not, for some reason, the lions are not bothered by the vehicle. They just like it doesn't,
They don't register really.
as a
long
problem.
as you stay
So they
inside
just,
the vehicle. So that thing popped up again, but anyway.
If you click the chat,
Let's see. Click the chat.
yeah. And then just add to do it.
Oh, hi Deb, you're
There's
there.
Peggy.
Look at that.
And then you can X, yeah, and then you can X it out.
Okay,
There
X
you
out.
go.
Oh, good to know that she's there. She figured it out. That's good. Okay, anyway. So yeah, these are called dust devils, or like dust tornadoes that just came up all around us, all over the place because it was so
Wow.
dry.
That's awful.
Like the Dust Bowl.
Oh, shoot, now see, I did it again. From,
Yeah, it seems
clicking
like when you do
somewhere
that,
else.
it messes it up.
yeah. Okay, wait, let me see if I click down here. Does that do it? Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That was the best I could do, get the picture.
We never got to see really the peak of Kilimanjaro. That was the closest we got to seeing Kilimanjaro.
Well, there's still
But we
snow
were
there,
right
looks like.
next to it.
Very little, very
Looks like
little.
snow.
There should be a lot more.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
a
it
little.
should be covered in
top.
snow.
So this was our pod, and with our vehicle behind us. Our pod was just the people that we hung out with in that camp, who we all got there on the same day and left the same day. So six of us formed a pod to travel all day long in, the safari vehicle together. And then we would eat dinner together at the same table at night. So believe it or not, within 2 or 3 days, we were like really close. And then the two guys, the Maasai men, were our guide and driver. So this was our first group that we were with at the first camp in Amboseli.
So is the temperature a little chilly? Everybody's wearing warm
Yeah, it
clothes.
got chilly.
It varies, yeah, it's chilly in the
very
morning, and then at midday,
at
it could get
night.
warm enough to,
Okay.
go down to shorts,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that was our dining camp there.
No, they must have a whole crew of
Yeah.
porters or whatever you want to call them.
Oh,
They,
yeah.
All this
they
stuff.
employ a lot
really
of
well-staffed,
local
yeah.
Maasai people, so
Yeah,
it's a great, this is the, Harini camps are done by the Game Watchers safaris, and they're particularly great.
they're just really, I
They're
want to
doing-
live
they
there
do
for the rest of my life.
everything.
It's fantastic.
They do it all for the right reasons, though.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they employ the local people, they help their economy, and they trade, they help, I don't know, they just are mutually helpful to each other.
It's all, of course, everything's solar powered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's our camp.
That's not so,
That's your
that's so
camp.
shabby.
Really, really good picture of it, but
Now,
It's
was
pretty
that just
comfortable.
you shared, did more than just you and Karen share that? or was
nope, just the two
it-
of us.
Wow.
with our own bathroom too,
Yeah, bathroom was
so you don't have to go out at night.
No, did the animals come up to it?
at night. At night.
Well, we had a monkey invasion at our, we had monkeys invade our tent at one of the camps, yeah. Because they're all around, Okay, so this is John. John is
So he
an
worked at
important
that
guy,
camp.
yeah.
And I don't know, we just liked each other. And so we've been in touch ever since. And he is, he's the guy that inspired me to do what I'm doing, which is, if you guys don't all know, I'm collecting funds to build a well
We're
in
gonna,
their neighborhood. Karen's helping too. And
Um,
anyway, so he lives like a local typical Maasai person and has his livestock, and this is his job only during the
tourist season.
So the rest of the time he's like, a shepherd with his flock, and he has to walk them. And he recently went for, I think it was like a week away looking for water for his animals,
Wow.
looking for pastures that are green
oh,
and water. He had to travel for days and days with his animals to do that. And I saw he showed me a picture of his, I should have figured out how to put that in there. Anyway,
us.
just a tarp kind of thing over some sticks, that's his tent.
Wow.
And we
So
take for
I'm trying to
granted,
figure out how to send him a tent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they're really suffering.
yeah, we
Because,
take for granted that we could just get water automatically, just,
yeah.
So John, so that guy John is the one who connected us with another local guy who is a hydrologist and also has a position with the local Rotary, their version of the Rotary Club. So they do charitable and ecological projects. And so that's our connection to get the well built. And
The two of
we've
them
had
had a
Zoom
meeting
meetings,
the other
we had
day.
Zoom meetings with him and,
Yeah, we met with him on Zoom.
yeah.
And then they met with each other the other day to figure out where this well would go.
Unbelievable.
So they're
Yeah.
preparing
it's-
for it.
Yeah, so it's very real. We're excited.
98 out of 100 of their cows.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is tragic.
Yeah,
It's like
these are
plague.
that's the type of house they live in. That's where they live. 2 of those are his daughters, the other one is a niece. And those are their dead animals and, his cows and the doggy. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is what I came away with. I just knew I had to do this. So we have almost $1,000. I've been putting this GoFundMe up on Facebook regularly, and we've collected almost 1,000. But we need a lot
about
more.
8,000.
We need 8,000. So this was one of my first communications with this guy Moses, who works with the Rotary. They call it the Rotaract Eco Warriors. So that's what he said.
So you need 8,000 to build the well.
Yeah,
And how much has been raised so far at this point?
almost 1,000.
1,000. Thank you.
He broke it down too into all of the steps, everything that needs to be done and how much it costs, because he really knows what he's doing.
We have enough to
It's
get them
just
started,
really cool.
so they can start doing surveys to find out
Yeah,
the best spot to drill.
so that was the driest area. And this was our second place that we went, the Masai Mara Game Reserve, and it was actually really pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
a relief.
beautiful, because it was a lot more lush there. And that's where it rained almost daily, just a little bit, almost daily.
Is this west of where you were, the other place?
Yes. Up how the line between the 2 countries, there's a map, the map is right there that I took pictures of, but the border kind of goes on a diagonal, so it's further north, but it's still right on the border of Tanzania.
So this is Kenya. and
Okay, I'm gonna go
this is where
on.
we were first, and this is
Yeah.
Masai Mara. So we can-
Oh, got it.
This is called a hartebeest. Can you guess why? Its horns are shaped like a
That's amazing.
heart.
Wow.
Lots and lots of zebras. We saw literally thousands of zebras.
Literally thousands and thousands of
They were
zebras.
everywhere.
And they're brown, by the way, when they're young. The brown, the young
They
ones are
turn
not,
black,
they're brown
black and white
not
as they
black
get
and white.
older, yeah. And this was one of the biggest, oldest guys, Mike, right?
That was Big Mike.
That's Big
yeah.
Mike. He came and said hello and then turned and walked away.
Look at that butt, I mean.
Yeah. See, he's got a really huge
I mean, he
tusk.
was
The tusk,
right
yeah.
next to us.
The tusks are amazing.
As you can
It's a
see
little
with
too
the
close for
frame
comfort
of
for
the-
me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all. It just felt like they knew what they were doing, and
Yeah.
we didn't notice one bit of anything from any animals the whole time we were there.
Yeah, but we saw lots of, groups of elephants. You always see a lot of little ones. They're very cute.
Yeah.
Really good picture.
Amazing photos, Peggy.
Thanks.
Your phone.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Great.
it's the Samsung phone. That's
Yeah.
one good thing about Samsung.
That's what I have.
Here's my picture for National Geographic. Doesn't
Yeah.
it?
That's what it looks like.
There it goes. That's my picture. That was our first sighting of a cheetah.
Cheetah. The ostrich, first time I saw an ostrich, I just could not even believe it. They are, they're just
They're
unbelievable.
really
They're
fun to
big.
watch
They're
when they're
huge.
moving.
It's like, oh my God.
And we saw impalas
Lots of
everywhere
impala,
too.
lots of, antelopes, all, of different kinds.
Oh.
The
This
little
is called a
dik-diks
dik-dik.
This is not,
What?
this is a stock photo because they're always running. You can, you
Yeah, you
can't
can't
actually
really
photograph.
get-
I've never heard of I've never heard of that kind of animal. I'm not even gonna repeat the
I
words.
think it's a
Dick, dick.
I'm not gonna repeat
Our
it.
friends had a song about it, right? Don't be a dick
Oh
dick.
my God. The dick animal. I can't believe it. Not even in Brooklyn. You won't see that in Brooklyn.
They're quite small. They're really fat.
That's quite small.
Oh, jeez. Get your mind out of wherever it is there. The thing about dick dicks is that they are paired for life. They find a
Ah, wonderful.
and they're always in twos, right? It was the dick dick, right?
Yeah.
And it to the point that if one of them is killed or dies, the other one dies within a week.
Oh, no, really?
Oh,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
broken heart.
That's interesting.
There's the most beautiful
Superb stuff.
bird I've ever seen,
Wow.
especially when they
And we
spread
were-
their wings.
Yeah, we were blown away when we saw them, but then it turns out they're like ubiquitous, like you see them by the hundreds everywhere.
Pigeons or something.
Just like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not pretty here.
And Pumbaa, that was my favorite.
The warthogs.
The warthogs.
Are just hilarious.
They're
If
just
you
so fun.
remember, I don't know if you remember anyone from The Lion King, but
Mhm.
seeing the-
Simba. Was it
No,
Simba?
but Pumbaa.
Mom, okay.
Which is what we're looking at now. They have these funny little tails, and when they're scurrying away or afraid, their tail is straight up in the air, and then all of a sudden it just goes pew. And it's like when the tail goes down, the mind forgets everything, and they're just back to their
They
normal.
just stop running, they like forget what they were running from, yeah, it's very funny.
It's like night and day. He was relaxing.
Yeah. They sleep a lot, the lions. Sleepy
Yeah,
lions.
during the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, they sleep a lot. They go out at night pretty much, right?
Yeah,
right,
For hunting, yeah.
Wow.
so lots of hippos.
that was a yawn.
Wow.
Everyone's sleepy, it's nap time.
Well, there's the water.
Yeah. All the hippos, they stink it up. It is pretty disgusting.
It's pretty disgusting.
What's that?
They make a lot of,
The smell of his neck.
Yeah,
the
because
smell
there's
of
so
their-
many of them,
and
they're
they
all
just-
just like
they
packed
poop in the
together in the
water,
river,
and
and
it just
oh,
gets kind of
gross.
stinky. Anyway, these were our Maasai guides at this camp, so I always had to get my picture taken with them.
Mhm.
And this was one of those beautiful spots, just amazing.
Hmm.
So clearly no drought there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like going from here to probably to a state in the Midwest, or not even that far. I don't know. Okay, sundowner time.
This was so, I mean, the way they took care of us is like, if we were out in the morning, at 10 o'clock, we would stop and they would set up this whole thing and we'd have coffee and tea and,
Mhm.
snacks. And then if we were out in the late afternoon at sundown, same routine with, vodka and gin and whatever else you want.
Wow.
Yep, it was.
That's a good view of our
the term-
vehicle. So that's the vehicle
Yeah,
that we
that's
were
what
always
we
in,
wanted.
just completely open.
Mhm.
And whenever we were in the national park and saw other tourists, they were all enclosed vehicles.
Hmm.
They're in a different kind of vehicle with like windows but the top lifts up so you can stand up and look around that way.
So no one like hikes there or anything, right?
No, you don't.
No, you can't.
You don't get out of the
You can't go
vehicle.
anywhere
Right,
without
yeah, there's
your
no
guide.
walking, right, you don't get much walking in.
And the term for needing a pee
Oh,
break
yeah.
was, you'd say, I need a tire check.
We're gonna go, we need to check that back tire.
And then,
When would you get some exercise
and-
yourself?
we didn't
We
very
didn't.
much.
We
And that
really
was
didn't.
one of the things that was very hard, because we were sitting
a lot of sitting.
in the Jeep all day long, bump, 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 bump.
Yeah.
Not a relaxing ride. It got really old after a while. really hard. It was exhausting in a whole different way. Did you ask something else, or was it?
It was about exercise.
Oh, right, okay. So I was gonna say that the term sundowner actually means cocktail. It's a
Cocktail hour, right?
Funny.
Yeah, he was playing around, showing them how he exercises, so they were having fun. We got to really chat and get to know these guys during these times. It was really cool. I somehow felt like I got really close to them, and to care about
They
their
were
community.
we became friends really fast. Yeah, it was great. They were great.
So there was a lot of joy in seeing the animals, but also just everything else about it was really, like, the people were great and the atmosphere, it was just, I felt like it gets in your heart and soul and stays there.
What languages do they speak?
Swahili.
Swahili and English.
And English, yeah. They always say Swahili is our native language.
There's a
and
national
English
language
is our
and an
national
official
language,
It's basically,
I think.
yeah.
So, this is our tent where,
That's the one the monkeys got into,
Yeah.
isn't it?
that's the
Yeah.
one the monkeys got into our tent because Karen had some trail
Trail
mix.
mix.
Oh, they went in the drill.
Well, they
It's called
break
the
it
trail
anyway.
mix.
No, I mean,
But
they were,
they had
didn't
an
know
extra
it, but
motive
once
to
they
get in
found
there.
that, it was like jackpot.
That's a question, just a quick question.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've seen the documentaries a little bit on the Maasai, but I don't recall, what do they believe in terms of a god or religion? What do they normally worship?
Remember.
They're mostly Christian, I believe.
Okay,
They had churches.
they're
But-
churches.
But the native people, it seemed like they're sort of half Christian and half Muslim.
Muslim. I
So,
don't
it
actually
varies.
remember. I do know that they're polygamous.
Mhm.
They have wives. That was a little problematic, but apart from that.
They take on many wives.
Yeah, but they have to have money to take on many
Yes,
wives.
if they can afford it,
So
right.
that's what, they were kind of talking about that.
Wow, those tents are so nice, I can't believe.
I know,
Do they have so they have electricity in them?
yes.
Wow.
It's really
It's
like
a nice little setting there.
a nice cabin. in
I
the
thought you
woods.
guys were roughing it.
No, glamping, a major
Glamping.
glamping. So this was a group of men that took us to see their local Maasai village. They have there's a setup with the Game Watcher safari camps that these guys let tourists visit their traditional camp in exchange for being sort of supported by the Game Watcher safari group. So, they get paid for being someone that we can
For
visit.
hosting, right.
And they are allowed to sell their crafts and stuff at the camp where we stayed too. So this was on the way into their village, and this is their huts, mud huts.
Made with mud and cow dung, huh?
So they don't have running water or electricity?
No. No, they have to go a long way to get water. They have to bring water in.
They're very resourceful. They make
Yeah.
their home with mud and cow dung.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We went inside this particular home here, and it was like a tunnel round and round that was
It had separate
completely
rooms, yeah.
pitch dark. I
It
mean,
was very
I
dark.
couldn't even tell if there were separate rooms. It just felt to me like I was going in a spiral until we got to the middle.
Wow.
I don't know. But maybe that's to protect them from animals out, getting into their house. Maybe it's built that way on purpose. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Yeah, they showed us how they make fire without using any matches or anything. As baby was into looking us out, we had a stare down. And back to some animals.
Buffalo.
Saw lots of buffalo too.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Big yawn.
What a
I'm sure
yawn.
that lion wants to eat that buffalo.
There's another warthog. One of the ugly five. We learned who the big five were and the ugly five.
Oh.
We'll see that later.
Oh.
Two different gazelles that we saw everywhere all the time. Oh, and now we get to Karen's birthday.
Oh, wow.
She went on you should say what you did on your birthday.
I got up at 3:45
Ooh.
to travel an hour and a half so I could take off in a hot air balloon ride at dawn.
Oh.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun.
And then we met up with her later.
And then we met up later, yeah.
Do you have photos of that?
I have a couple photos. I have a few photos I mean, there are views, you know, of the animal herds from the air, you know. And there was a wildebeest, a big, huge herd of wildebeest.
I should have put that on here. Did
Yeah.
I put it on?
I don't know. Which, yeah, and they were right near where we were gonna land, and they can't really control, you know, they can't maneuver those balloons very well. It was the first time I'd ever been on one, it was kind of weird. So we sort of created a stampede of the wildebeest herd, you know, as we were like landing
It looked
there.
like the wildebeest migration, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it looked like the migration,
We
right?
missed the big migration. But anyway, this was that evening, and they made her a birthday cake
But we're
out of
gonna-
who knows what.
They made this fantastic birthday cake, and how they do that out with no resources, quite amazing. But we have a video.
Yeah, but I don't know, should we try to do it now, or wait till the end?
Video on?
Can you handle that, or should we wait until the
So
end?
it's up to you. If you want to, I can do it.
Do it now.
All
Okay,
right, because this is where we are.
yeah,
And I can pick this up where we were.
okay. As long as
So,
you're good.
by way of introduction, it was a total surprise. The cake was a surprise. We were at dinner, and the entire staff of the camp, all in their native dress, did this whole
Song and
like
dance.
hooping and hollering parade thing. That was just fantastic.
Oye,
a birthday you'll never forget.
Really, yeah, it's amazing.
Tears in my eyes. So moving. All right, gotta get us back where we were here.
I'm still stuck on the birthday cake.
Yeah. What kind was it, Karen?
It was just a yellow cake, it's like a yellow cake with white frosting, you know, but it was very good, it was delicious. There's the cake. Yep. Look, and it's got, look, Morini Camp, Mara Morini Camp on the outside. It's so beautiful.
All right. Yep, there you go.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so the next stop was the Serengeti, which means endless plains. It was a
Which was
huge,
very,
huge
yeah,
plain.
accurate.
And this was
Forever.
Tanzania.
Completely
This
flat.
was coming into
Tanzania.
Tanzania,
Mhm.
which was interesting. Okay, that's where we learned about the Big Five, and we saw them all, except that's not my picture of the rhinoceros, because it was hard to, they're endangered, and it was hard to find them.
You can't
and
get
we only
close to
saw
them. We only
way
saw them
far
at a
away.
distance, yeah.
So,
Now, do they feed them at all, or is it still all natural hunting and selection and that sort of thing?
it's all it's
Yeah.
all nature, being out in nature, they do their thing. We got to see how that works a lot, you know, we saw lions on the prey, looking for their prey, we
Right.
saw.
Carcasses.
Carcasses, yeah, well, we saw lions chewing on carcasses
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. The leopard often brings the carcass up into
We're gonna
the
see
tree.
that,
Well,
actually.
yeah, we have a shot of that.
What was I gonna say? I forget.
The ugly five.
They're the ugly five. Wildebeest, warthog, hyena, marabou stork,
I
and
don't think that's
vulture.
ugly at all.
I know, the stork, I don't know why. And obviously, that's not my picture of the stork, since it has this photo by unknown
Unknown
author. That's my picture. They were mesmerizing for me
They
to
were, we would
watch.
just sit and watch, yeah, they were amazing.
So how are the babies holding on to the tail?
How are
Are
they?
like?
They do
is
some, they do hold, they do,
With
Hold on.
with their
yeah,
trunk,
sometimes.
Their
and
trunk,
tail.
is it like wound around the tail?
I don't know, I've seen them look like they're touching, but anyway, lots of babies.
Very
in
little,
this.
but that one's probably only a few days old, right?
Very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And another one, this was nap time. See how their trunk is laying on the ground? That means they're taking a nap.
That's how you tell.
Oh.
Stand up during their nap.
Yeah, sometimes you see them lying down, but mostly they're up.
Wow.
How restful to have the end of your trunk laying on the ground.
Yeah. That's a great
leopard. And there's the leopard's prey in
And
the
there's
other
the
branch.
prey right next to it.
So it was just resting after
Yeah.
eating, and then it's gonna go eat some more, but it has it protected from everybody else up
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Lots of good giraffes too.
Lots of giraffes.
That's
Yeah,
how they really have to lean over to drink water.
They have to spread their legs wide to get down to the water, yeah.
And this one's special because of the lion in the tree
Yeah.
behind the elephant. And that's the acacia tree. We saw those
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
And we saw a wildebeest fight in the middle there. We watched that for a good long time. They were going at it.
And then they just stopped, nobody got hurt or anything, and they just walked away.
So this place was a little more deserted out in the Serengeti. It really felt like we were just plunked in the middle of the Serengeti. It was a bit not attractive particularly, and felt like we were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that
there
was
were
a good-
not other
Nice
people
little
at this
glamping.
camp. This camp there was maybe one other couple the whole time we were there, so. Oh, and this was done differently because it wasn't
not a
by the
Perini camp.
Perini camps
Right.
anymore. Once we went into Tanzania, they cooperate with these camps, but they do things very differently. So we didn't get to travel with a pod full of people anymore. We were more just by ourselves
Just, yeah, the two
traveling.
of us, yeah.
So we would be in a Jeep with a driver, just the three of us during the day. So it wasn't as fun. It was really fun the other way, but these guys were all really nice. That was the staff there saying, they all came to say goodbye when we left.
Molly.
Okay, this is where I put in a little bit of education about the Ngorongoro crater, because it's supposed to be a really special place, even though that was like our worst day. But it had nothing to do with the crater.
So it's a really huge crater, and the animals like basically stay, have everything they need to just stay there. That's
Yeah,
their-
any
that's
animal
their
that lives
home.
there stays
Yeah.
there.
So this is a strike by a meteor or something like that?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
No, I thought it was a
A
Is it
meteor,
a
no,
volcano?
wait, I'm sorry. What
it
am I
was a
saying?
volcano,
Oh,
right?
so it's
It's-
a volcano.
yeah.
Collapsed volcano or
Wait.
something. Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something, or maybe this just got interrupted. We'll learn more about it,
Okay.
though. Yeah, they had some cool signs that
It
said,
says, remove nothing from the park except nourishment
for the soul,
for the soul,
consolation
consolation for the heart, and inspiration for the mind. Oh, you wrote
I
it, I'm
wrote it
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry. I thought it was being helpful.
So here's where I wrote
Oh,
more
by active
about
volcanoes. Okay.
the
Very nice.
crater. Yeah, it was an active volcano that just like fell in. There was
Wow.
nothing in the middle to
Huh.
keep it up, so it fell in and made this crater, and it's really called a caldera.
Oh, that's a caldera.
And so because it was a volcano, the soil's really rich, and it's just a beautiful ecosystem right there.
I'm not sure what I see here. Is the mountain range the outside of the volcano? So
Yeah.
it's that
Yes.
big?
We're on the floor.
So
of
you're on the floor right there?
Right,
Okay.
yeah, of the
Yeah.
crater, yeah.
We had to drive a long way
It was
around
huge. It
on
would
the
drive
top,
forever.
around the crater to get to where we camped the night before
Okay.
we came in.
It was supposed to be like a special arrangement that made it better because we drove
To the
to the far
far
end of the the top of the caldera, so that we could like avoid the crowds, so there's it was the other entrance to the caldera that's less used, and we were able to, theoretically, we were able to get down, very early in the morning before anyone else. But there
we
was a
didn't.
glitch. But
We had a
anyway,
glitch.
it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, this is just some of the scenery there. It was very beautiful.
Wow,
Hmm.
beautiful day.
Wow, you get a different picture of it close up.
Not all of it looked like this. This was a marshy area, but still pretty. Oh, and this was the
Oh,
highlight
yeah.
of the day.
300 years ago.
Yeah.
300 years ago it was formed.
Yes, what's in
We were watching for a good 30 or 40 minutes, waiting with the male
The
lion.
male is like waiting for the female to say that she's ready.
Hmm.
And he kept nudging her, like he would sniff her butt and nudge her and
Mhm.
say, "Are you ready yet?" And she'd go, "Ah, no." And he'd lie down again and just,
It was funny. It was really funny.
So it was just really fun to watch the whole process. And finally, she got in the right position and he got on top
It
and
was
bam,
over. It was
it
over
was
in-
done before I got a good picture.
I had to have it in movie mode.
Oh my God, I
was
should have
amazing.
had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how long was that whole process?
it was more than a half hour. I think it was like 40 minutes.
Well, the
Okay,
guide
oh.
explained this.
Waiting and
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't take a minute.
Guys do this every day for the tourists, or what?
When they're
Well,
in season, they
yeah.
do it all the time. They do it like
They do
every
it like
half
once
hour
an
or every
hour.
hour for like days and days.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's really hard for the.
Yeah, and
female to get
apparently it's
pregnant.
very hard for them to conceive because they have to keep doing it, so.
So, yeah, we didn't know which week it was.
But
didn't
we
know
didn't, you
how
don't
long
know
we were
how
gonna
long
wait.
it's gonna be, right, till they, get to it again.
Okay, getting on here to
Tangier.
our last,
Oh,
we
yeah.
really loved this place.
Oh, this place was
This was a
beautiful.
good place to end on because it was beautiful. It had a swimming pool
Oh,
and
And that's
it
the
had,
swimming pool.
no.
Really nice.
That was right next to the swimming
It
pool.
had a water hole, like
It
right in front of the camp. So you could just sit and
It was
watch,
right next to the
just
pool.
sit and watch the animals all day, it was great.
So we asked for a half-day safari because I could not deal with the idea of a full-day safari
We were
again. by
exhausted.
that
And if
last
you had a
day.
swimming pool.
Yeah, and
And
I
we had-
wanted to come back and dip in the pool and watch the animals there, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
All of
it was
the
great.
animals that came to this
Wow.
little water hole. And once the elephants got there, they hogged it. They wouldn't let anybody else in, day and night. Those are elephants in the dark. On the right. And they really would not let any other animals would kind of creep up
Huh.
and see if they could sneak in there and
It's not a very
they
big
would be
water.
chased away.
It's not very big, no, it really is not
No,
very big.
it wasn't very big at all, and
Was
by
it
the time
shipped
they
in
were
water?
done, it was pretty much empty.
Was it shipped in water like before?
Yeah, they brought water
Needed
in.
access though to the water.
What?
Other animals needed access to water.
Yes, they did.
They did need
They-
access.
So where
They
do they
were-
bring the water from? How, in these different places?
I don't know where it comes from.
Wells, I hope.
Probably won't.
I hope there's wells that they can get it, because you're gonna count on that.
But that's a lot of water to pull out of a well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far they have to come. Anyway, this was a beautiful
That's the
place.
camp,
Oh,
isn't it
nice.
beautiful?
Wow.
Permanent structure. Now, were there any bugs? I noticed everything was
Bugs.
wide open.
Mm.
Yeah,
No mosquitoes or anything.
No,
There
but
were no
there were-
mosquitoes at this particular camp. It was the only place we had this, but there were these really horrible flies that bit you during the day. They only came out in the sun.
Hmm.
It's the opposite of what we have,
Yeah,
the
nighttime.
mosquitoes come out at dusk and at night. But there, they came out only during the day, but it made it impossible really to enjoy being outside.
Really?
But they didn't come into even the covered areas that were not, there were no screens except in our own tent. But they didn't bother the dining areas. It's funny.
Are we talking about the whole time that there were bugs?
No,
Right.
just this last
Just this
camp.
one.
For some reason, at this last camp, we
Mhm.
had that. We did not have
Probably
any
so
bugs
dry.
anywhere besides that.
Mhm.
You can see the swimming pool off there on the right, on the left there. And these were some water bucks waiting their turn. They were waiting for the elephants to leave. And those are the three
Wow,
different kinds of trees that
Look
we
at that,
learned
that's in the
about.
middle, how big that tree is.
yeah, that's the baobab.
Baobab,
Bow,
yeah.
bow, bow.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow, look at that. That middle tree, what is that one? The
Baobab,
bow?
baobab.
Okay. That's a pretty thick tree.
Does it have
Yeah.
leaves? Is that? has
It doesn't,
leaves,
it's,
but
they
how much
said
of it
it's
can
kind of
be?
like an upside down tree because it looks like
The
the
big
roots are
roots.
sticking up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because it doesn't have leaves,
And it
but
has a fruit.
it has this, it
Yeah.
has these pods that, this was our guide, he opened it up and we each took a piece of what's
Look at
inside
that.
and sucked on it. And it's
Antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals.
supposed to be really good for you.
Huh.
What
How
it
did
tastes
Yeah.
like.
It tastes,
Healthy.
yeah. That was one of
This
our
is our typical,
lunches
this
at
is
the
how they took
park.
care of us.
Yeah.
They brought lunches like this all the time.
When we would do an all-day safari, when we'd go to the
Like
national
real food.
parks.
It was so good. It was great.
Yeah, delicious lunch.
And beer.
And beer.
Mhm.
If you want it.
Right. And our friend Jimmy here,
Jimmy.
he was our guide at the end in that last camp, and he loved us and we loved him. He really appreciated us because he said a lot of tourists who come are miserable people and they're not friendly and they're not nice.
Oh,
And-
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so he
American
liked
tourists
that we
can be
were
really
fun and we were
Yeah,
They
friendly.
can be, but I would think if you were there.
And so because he liked us so much,
Yeah.
he gave us a special sundown for the very
Special
last
sundowner just for
last
us.
night there. He had
Oh,
them make us little special appetizers and, brought a bunch of drinks, and we just sat and watched the sun go down,
Oh,
wow.
like 5 minutes
Is
from
that
the
your
camp.
table over on the left?
Yeah, that was the table they put all the drinks and food on.
wow.
And then we just sat in chairs and stared at the sundown going down. So that was very nice.
wow.
And that's it, last page.
Wow. Great job.
Yeah,
Nice
it's a nice
photos.
picture.
Mhm.
That would be a nice
screen
background for my,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it would be a
Green
good
screen.
screensaver, wouldn't
green
it?
screen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was one other video we could show.
Yep. Let me do that.
Okay.
You're so smart to do this, like to have put this in a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I wanted to share it. I thought it was
Yeah.
just like
Very well put
too
together.
good not to
All right.
share.
Very well
Yeah.
put together.
Yeah.
Do another screen share.
Well edited too, I bet.
Yes.
One.
I'm curious what that is.
Oh, that's Sam's shot. Is that Lake Champlain, Sam?
Yeah.
No, this is a woman I know in Wisconsin, and she has in Door County, and every day she puts up a sunset, and she
Oh,
just has
wow.
a spectacular one, so I got
Oh, my
one. that,
gosh.
But do you know where that is?
It's in Door County.
Oh, this is actually indoor comic.
Yeah, this is shot from there. All right, so this is
So
the
what was
Maasai Village one.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Get into the Olympics for high jump?
Yes.
The little kids
They're
are
also
trying to
pretty tall,
compete,
too.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
All right, let me get out of that.
I know,
So
I couldn't
sure
help
you're-
thinking about someone should be in the NBA. You know, it's that
Yeah.
the vertical leap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty.
See who all's on here now.
Go back, whoops.
Oops.
What happened here? There we go. And I'm gonna get rid of this here.
They're not on the big screen.
Heather didn't make it, oh well.
They're not on the big
Hello,
screen.
whose hand is that?
That's Carol.
Carol.
Oh, okay.
It was nice to see them. I went to Kenya and Tanzania in
Oh.
2009 and for my honeymoon. So this brought back some very nice memories. Thank you so much for sharing. It
You're
is a
welcome.
special, very special trip. I
Yeah.
hope more people go.
Yeah,
It's life-changing.
it
is.
is, exactly.
Yeah.
It really is.
Carol, how different was Namibia from what we just saw?
Namibia is looks very much like our Southwest in terms of landscape, and they have the largest sand dunes in the world by the sea, and they're red, and they're phenomenal. So we hiked the sand dunes in Namibia. In terms of animals, they do have a national park called Etosha, and the animals do congregate at the water holes. The one episode that's remarkable on our game drive was someone had to get out to go to the bathroom. It was forbidden, but the guide let her go out and she went behind the vehicle, but just as she was doing that, a very rare black rhino crossed the trail. And the guards at the national park just came out of the woodwork because they had just lost 9 of those rhinos the previous couple weeks to poachers.
Oh my
They
God.
were monitoring what rhinos they had left, you know, and so when she got out of the car, it was a perfect storm. The rhino crossed the trail. We were caught by the rhino. The guards came. I thought we were going to all be arrested. I mean, it was like they were so paranoid about protecting that rhino. And, you know, it made me realize that these animals are being kept alive by these national parks and by virtue of the water holes there. And if it wasn't for human intervention at this point, they would be gone pretty much due to conflicts with other land use and humans. So these national parks should be supported if you can afford it. It's really important to keep these animals alive.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why, I mean, the whole experience of seeing animals just waiting for water, you know, and not having pastures and starving to death. I mean, I think it was true for animals in the wild too, but it was heartbreaking to me. It was just like, something has to be done, you know? So that's why I came back with the idea of the well. If anyone feels like contributing, it would be so
with the well-
I
appreciated.
put the well in the chat in case you're.
Oh, good, thank you.
Where would the well be for people, or would it be for animals? or
Both, they're gonna construct it for both, because they discussed that.
And they have a,
People and wild animals and domestic animals,
Yes.
all,
Ah.
yeah.
and they have a well-known, stable, predictable aquifer that they can tap.
They know, they can get water. They
They can
know
get
they
water.
can get water. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, we didn't talk about an aquifer, but,
Yeah,
Well, that would be where you would
they
get
know,
water.
right, but they know,
They know,
they know
You
all
feel
about how to
certain,
do it.
and it won't dry up right away.
Well, that's what they've got to make sure of. That's why
That's why
have
they
to-
drill deep enough. That's why it's
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Well, and
more
then the other
expensive.
thing is, it's sort of a supply and demand thing. You know, they're gonna have to limit the number of cattle they have too. Because, you know, if they just keep growing number of cattle with
Yeah.
a given capacity of the well,
right,
you know, there's gotta be a balancing act
right.
between the capacity of the well and how many, and they don't all go crazy, oh, we got water, we can have as many cattle as we want,
Yeah.
and I can have as many wives as I want.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting, because we were in Africa, and the people would have to go to the well every day, but the well wasn't producing every day. You know, there wasn't water there every day they went. So maybe that was a way for them to do what you were just saying, you know.
In other words, the water, the potential was there, but they weren't
Yeah.
running it every day.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Great. Fascinating.
Anybody
was
have
fabulous.
anything
Thank
else?
you, Peggy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. I'm glad you made it, Edgar.
Yeah.
Hi, Edgar.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you,
Thank
Karen
you.
and Peggy. Beautiful experience.
So be in touch with us, if you have any ideas about